of the Wonderkin Show. He is from Florida with love. He is a fellow Yankees fan like you, Dre. We found out actually yesterday
Yes.
as well. He is the one, the only, joining us on the Flex Zone podcast, bringing the energy, talking that talk, doing what he does. The one, the only, Nitro from the Wonderkin Show. Nitro, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here. He's here.
I'm good, y'all. Very, very good. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
Why you do the Joe Henry
Yeah, yo, y'all remember that show, Degrassi, and they had that little skinny kid, and that's how he would at the beginning of the yo. I be random like that, bro. I can't help. I be random like that. I can't help it.
Nitro, how you feeling, brother? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Over here, just enjoying myself on the flex. You feel me? Yeah,
Damn.
definitely. Thanks for the love. Enjoying being here. Ready to do a great show. You feel me?
Do we need to? Do we need to slap anybody? Do we need to slap anybody? Do we need to? Do we need to before we get
Listen,
started?
we
Do we
might
need
need
to
to slap some people. EDC might need to catch one of these 5-finger wake up calls because this, bro, our wide receiver depth is looking very skittish. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. So yeah, we gonna get to it.
Finish him, Daddy.
The people want to know for the finish him, Daddy, because Raj, yes, we did. He did bring it to the show. Where did it come from? Because you are the SBK, the Sound Beat King, by the way. How did that come about, by the way?
Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. It was mad random. I was going through
And look who's in the building, by the way. Big shout out to Engraven.
Yeah, shout out, man.
good. It was good. That's that guy right there, man.
Big shout out Engraven.
I was going through a lot of sounds. Like I think I've went through probably 5,000 different sounds, and I was moving because I'm kind of a big dude, and my hand like ripped this whole thing down because I had to move real quick to catch something, and then it hit that random sound, and when it hit it, everything dropped and said, "Finish him, Daddy." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of hard." Pause. So I was like, I bet I'm about to run that. So I just kept it. Like I'm dead serious with you. It just by accident going through 5,000 different sounds for different occasions, and that one just found me.
Let the people know how to keep up with you, Nitro, what you do on your channel, how they can keep up with you, and just what you do on your channel and why you follow these Baltimore Ravens way down there in Florida, the land of crazy, as we know.
Hey, listen, man, Florida do be wild. Hurricanes and people be down be wilding. But no, definitely you can catch me on YouTube, the Wonderkin Show. You can catch me on Twitter, Nitro_Quantum. You feel me? And yeah, just talking great, just football, sports. I touch on a lot of different sports, but mostly you're gonna get is gonna be Ravens content, and you know what I'm saying. I just try to give my viewpoint as best and as knowledgeable as possible. Only dealing truth and facts. You feel me? Even though I put a little twist onto it, you know what I'm saying? Hence the grin.
Well, we appreciate you, brother. I know the fellas want to ask you some questions. Go ahead, fellas. Go ahead.
Go and start us off, Dre.
All right. Before we started the podcast, we had talked about Harbaugh and Tomlin. Who do you think is more on the hot seat right now?
Harbaugh. It should go without, like, that shouldn't even be an argument, right? One coach has a 2-time MVP at quarterback, only 27, leading his squad. Like, what does Tomlin have? The towels, a great defensive player. Like what are we what are we talking about? Even going up against the Ravens, that seems to be our kryptonite. They kick our tail or do super well against us with nothing. Last year, I believe their quarterbacks had how much touchdown passes? 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
For the, like, come on now. He's doing it with the least. Harbaugh has great defenses, greatest kicker of all time, top 2 quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? He just has more. And to tell you the truth, I can make the argument that if we had different coaching during a lot of our playoff runs, we would already have at least one of those elusive Super Bowls. So, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like he's on the hot seat more because he has more to deal with. Tomlin, I don't think he's going anywhere. How many Steeler coaches has it been? Like 3?
Yeah, 3 in the history.
Like 90 years? Like, what is that? That man gonna retire there. Family and everything. He good.
All right, Nitro. I've been a huge fan of yours for a hot minute, man. I mean, I found you on Engraven's channel, spitting that hot fire about the Ravens right around the time that Lamar's contract was, up for grabs, and we didn't know if he was going to come back or
Yeah.
what was going to happen. Bro, you kept me, like we're gonna get this brother back. We're gonna find a way to get this brother back. We have to keep this brother. We have to get this brother back,
Yeah.
bro. Like during that period of time, after he got the nice contract that he got, from your point of view, from your vantage, because we heard from Engraven's vantage.
Yeah.
How did y'all get that interviewing Lamar Jackson?
Bro, when I'm telling you about God be good sometimes, man. So that whole thing was just circumstance, man. Like when I tell you, like, things just fall into place, and you be like, how did everything fall into place? And then you go to church on Sunday, you be like, God, you looked out for me again. Like, literally, that is what happened. Nothing more, nothing less. I was on Twitter, and somebody had posted something about his restaurant. And I told him, I said, hey, I would love to shoot an episode there. That'd be, crazy. And Lamar, because he follows me, said, you can shoot there. Just, what I'm saying? Just pick up a plate. You good. So, me stretching, the limit as much as I can. I'm like, say less. I'll be there. If you're not for you can be there. So, I just took the opportunity. I wanted to work with someone great doing it. And I just felt like Ing's already down there, amazing guy. And we ended up becoming real cool. So I was like, who better to do it with? So I just asked him if, hey, would you like to be a part of this? And Ing was just like, yeah, of course, I'll be there for you. So then me and Ing ended up meeting there. The funny thing is, Lamar forgot that I was coming. We were coming that day, and he ends up hitting me up, and I was like, "Yeah, we here." He's like, "Oh, my bad, bro. I totally forgot." So it was just a day of mishaps, bro. Just one thing after the other. The equipment was giving problems. Lamar's car broke down on the highway. Like, it was a whole bunch of stuff. But like I said, it just worked out, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Having Ing there, being able to interview Lamar Jackson, it's one of the best memories I have. And man, when you get to work with great people, it just makes the memory that much sweeter. So yeah, man, that's it literally just circumstances of just hard work and networking, and then God just kind of just putting everything in place. Real talk.
Do you still keep in contact with Lamar
Yes, sir.
throughout the time?
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's crazy because I didn't know he watched the Wonderkin show. So there was even when we were there, he was like, yo, he was telling me some of his favorite episodes. So I was like, yo, what? So now it's, so it was kind of crazy, but definitely humbling, right? Because when you're doing anything, you don't expect somebody, even though we try to work and gauge towards something great, you don't expect somebody that's high up actually watching your content. That's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like you finding out Tom Brady stayed watching the flex. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Tom, So that it was just humbling. And like I said, he hit me up first, and I was like, man, and of course, I'm not asking for anything. I'm just saying, hey, what's good, something like that. And it just turned into what it was, and I felt blessed, man. Definitely blessed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been watching a lot of your videos lately, and the one person that's been going crazy in the media has been the Pinocchio. You already know who that is. Mr. Pinocchio knows knowledge. If you know no good, that brother over there at Fox.
Yeah.
What is, you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, man. I think he follows you, bro. I think he does this to troll exactly you because he knows that he's going to get a rise out of you, and a lot of people that think as similar as us Ravens fans do.
Yeah.
Like, but what do you think his problem is with Lamar? Like, why would you put Lamar? What was it, number 20, I believe, or 21?
Below 20.
Below 20 on
Below
the
20.
top 100. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on with that guy, man?
It's clicks. Listen, you know what's funny? If Ing is still watching, he can attest to this. I remember one time I asked Lamar, and he said, "Look, it's all entertainment, bro. These like you got to understand, like everyone's trying to make a dollar, and they know that if exactly Lamar gets engagement, like, and if you go against him, he's like hot oil. If you need views, you need extra what's it called, interaction with the fans and everything, you bring up something with Lamar. You could be talking about a mouse, you bring up Lamar. You could be talking about money, you bring up Lamar. Talk about Patrick Mahomes, you bring up Lamar. You talk about anything and Lamar comes up, it trends. So that's what he's doing. And now, if you really want to like peel back that onion, Skip Bayless is, of course, left Fox Sports. So first things first is moved into that spot. So now more than ever, his show is longer and is being watched more because in a prime spot. So he has to make sure that eyeballs are on his show. It's the same reason why Speak does what it does. First take at times when it's slow, they'll just come up with ridiculous Lamar takes. That's what he's doing. He wants engagement. And I think Lamar knows that. I mean, it's kind of weird, right? Because you have people like literally denigrating all of your accomplishments for like view farming. But I guess he takes it, you know what I'm saying, it's just a business. So that's kind of the way I take it. But, you know, I'm not going to be as nice as Lamar. So I got to give him some flame on it. You know what I'm saying? But that's where it's at. It's just a money thing.
Do you think that this is the year for Lamar and Harbaugh to finally get over that hump and obtain a Super Bowl?
If the O-line could block.
Over Patrick Mahomes, I should say, too.
If the O-line could block. If the receivers could catch. Then yes. Like, yo, like, nah, I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, Derrick Henry is a workhorse. I think that he'll take a lot of the eyes off Lamar because once again, he's a multiplier. There's very few players in the league that are multipliers, and Lamar and Derrick are both multipliers. What I mean by that is they make everybody's job easier based on the defensive coverage that you have to use to contain them. When it comes to Derrick Henry, you better have everybody up there plus they mama ready to jump the gap, because if he gets ahead of steam, he's falling for 6-7 yards. You understand where I'm coming from? And with that, with Lamar being back there, you understand where I'm coming from? If he gives it to Henry and he pulls that ball back out of his gut, Lamar has the whole side of the other field that's just open. It'll probably be him versus a linebacker. That's cookies. Like, I'll take that all day. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, then you have to contend with what? Likely. You got to contend with Mark, who you already know, the middle of the field. That's where the tight ends make their money. So that's what I'm worried about. So as long as we have Derrick playing like Derrick, Lamar playing like Lamar, we'll have a chance, more chance than any other year. I think like the only two things that I look at, like habitually just stare at, is the O-line, because if they can't protect Lamar, then we're in for a long season. And of course, I say 1A is the wide receivers and 1B is the coaching. But if we can clean up those little things, then we're good. Like if Harbaugh doesn't Harbaugh it up, then we'll be fine.
Not Harbaugh it up. Let me follow up then. You talked about Derrick Henry. Do you think that we should have? Are you happy with the Derrick Henry signing, or do you think we should have got Saquon?
I'm good with Derrick Henry. Saquon stay hurt. We're already an injury-riddled team. Why do I need we just got rid of a running back that stayed injured. Why would I want another running back that stay injured?
Two of them on the same team.
Again. Matter of fact, let's even go a step further. Keaton Mitchell's still here. Have you seen him lately? No, because he's injured too. So you're gonna try to tell me to bring in another guy that, by the way that we practice, the way that we do our stuff, people just fall off like leaves? No. Give me Mr. Monster himself. Bullets bounce off that man. I'm good. Like straight up. Like the way he trains. How many times have he been hurt in the season? Think about it real quick. Rare.
And even the year he was hurt, he still led the league in rushing.
My man, you're making my point for me. So it's like one of those things where you're looking at it and you're saying Lamar and him backfield, he still has tread on his tire. He still runs. He can still lift like a horse. It's like come on, it makes practical sense. Also, when we get up on teams, we can run out the clock. Like the Ravens want to get up on you and then run the ball. That's their formula. It's been their formula. But we haven't been able to do it because partially running the ball has been Lamar. So it's like, okay, Lamar, throw it so we get there. All right, Lamar, now we're going to run you, you know what I'm saying, quarterback, you know what I'm saying, quarterback draw up the middle. It's like, does that make sense? Nah, you're putting your quarterback in needless harm. So now it's like, you know, we have Derek that could just literally just keep plowing along. So I'm loving it.
Do you feel like Derek is the missing piece, or do you feel like we should have got another wide receiver to be the missing piece, like how we had Odell last year?
Odell to me was never a missing piece. He was a broken piece. Because let's just be real, Odell was never fully Odell. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like he was rehabbing the whole beginning of camp and everything else. He still wasn't Odell. And even when we finally started to see flashes, that's all we got. Because by the time he would flash, something in his body reminded him he was in his 30s and he would have to go to the sideline. So, yeah, like the last nice signing we did at wide receiver was Steve Smith Sr. That was the last nice one that I seen. Free agent. I think Zay could be a monster. I truly do. Once again, how are they going to use him? And can Bateman stay healthy?
How do you feel about Toddery Mumpkin, aka Todd Monken? How do you feel about him going into year 2 with Lamar? Do you think they'll take another jump, or do you think they might just?
Oh yeah, he has to. He doesn't have a choice. Like, what's he going to do? Take a back seat? Like. This whole thing is him growing with Lamar. Lamar has to be challenged, right? He's the most dynamic player on the field, bar none. So he has to be creative. At the beginning of last year, I don't know if you guys remember, he was calling very stagnant plays. Mm-hmm. Remember the offense was very slow, methodical. It was like, bleh. Like none of us were watching. We're like, yo, what are we watching, bro? It kind of feels like 2010 Ravens. Like, bro, I'm kind of feeling sleepy. So once he started to pick up the pace and starting to realize like he can't call the game, he has to call the game like you have Lamar Jackson at a quarterback, then you started to see the big plays. Then you started to see the movement. Then you started to see Keaton Mitchell starting to break through and stuff like that. The Ravens are in their way more than anybody else. I want to make that context given, even though I'm hard on the O-line, hard on the wide receivers, the Ravens have enough to win the Super Bowl. Make no mistake about it. They have enough. They do. It's just that, can they get out of their own way? Can the coaches let the players be great? Are they going to hold back like they did last year with Keaton Mitchell? Remember those games where Keaton touched the ball 2 times in an entire game? We were like, why? Why Harbaugh? And Harbaugh said, oh, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. After a loss. After an L. A hot one at that. So if they could just get out of their own way, we'll be fine. We could do great things. But like I said, I worry about the O-line simply because of injuries and wide receivers stalling drives. Because if they start dropping balls, as we've heard that's been happening in preseason, then we're going to have a long season. We're in for a very long season.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, we've heard about Aguilar dropping balls in practice, and not only a couple, but a lot of them.
A lot.
Who do you think should be wide receiver 3?
Aguilar. yo, no. Listen, no. I'm not even trying to make y'all laugh. Who else is there? Please.
No, that's.
I mean, you have Anthony Miller, you have Russell Gage, Tez Walker.
Tez is out.
Google it.
I heard that in the background too. Nice. Who? Listen, Tez is out. He's on injured reserve. Y'all know
Might
that,
have to
right?
call you up. Might have to call you up. Yeah, he's hurt. He's a hurt guy too. He's
so
a hurt
he
guy
out.
too.
You want Anthony Miller, Russell Gage? So, like I said, who?
Isaiah Likely.
Listen, Isaiah, let me tell you something right now, and I want to make sure this is clear.
Yes,
this
sir.
is what I say. Coaching once again. There's no creativity. Listen. There's so many people that have been begging their tables, banging them for the emergence and the usage of an Isaiah Likely. I know you guys remember the Saints when they had Jimmy Graham.
Yep.
Yeah. And they're moving him out, you know what I'm saying, from mismatch out to the outside, let him go do his work. You remember that, right? And you're looking at the Ravens like, do the same thing. And they're like, no. Bro, no, man. Bro, listen, man. This is the problem I have with the Ravens. Because a lot of times it's like common sense stuff and they won't do it. They refuse. And then they'll get mad at us and be like, oh, y'all don't understand football. And then we be right at the end and they don't act, and they still act like they right. Like Isaiah Likely
we're at the
can
end
be
of the
used
bar.
everywhere.
We're at the end of the bar. That's what it was.
At the end of the bar. So yeah. So like I said before, Isaiah Likely, he could, man, if we could just use him how he's supposed to be used, he's like 6'5", 6'4". You don't use him in the end zone?
Crazy.
You don't try to mismatch against a linebacker? Huh? I have a question. Did y'all watch any of the preseason games?
I was at the last one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes.
Oh, no. Let me clarify. Any preseason games that wasn't the Ravens?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So I'm guessing you watched the Chiefs last one, right?
I did. Patrick Johnson. Yes.
Oh, yeah, Patrick Johnson. You saw when he sat down? You saw when he sat and he was the offense was still moving, still making big plays. Guys were still somehow wide open. Coaches were scheming guys to be wide open.
Yes.
Have you ever asked yourself why the Ravens can't do that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Like seriously, have you ever sat back and said, God, why are we stuck on a team that can't scheme? How? Nobody's open. If they don't beat press, they can't get open. Like, you don't scheme nobody aerially open. So it's like you start looking at it and being like, am I looking at the game wrong? But then you look at these other teams and they're doing it, habitually doing it, consistently doing it. So then you know something's wrong. That's what I mean with the coaching, the lack of creativity. And listen, if we're going to have big plays, right? Especially with a player like a Lamar, he flips the number game. Anybody that watches football knows what offense versus defense is. The defense has +1. Am I right or wrong, sir?
Correct.
Sirs, right? +1. Not when you got Lamar. It's 11-on-11 football. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
So that takes away the defense's ability to have that extra guy. If you make one mistake, you should be hitting your head on the goalpost. Tell me why it doesn't happen more on the Ravens. Tell me.
Because we don't have an offensive-minded head coach.
Oh,
because he doesn't teach offense either. He's special teams.
Bro, and that's my and that's not just me that said this. It's been pointed out by media pundits, other former players. Like, we have we were talking about this before the show even started. It's almost like we're so stuck on how we've done things in the past that we're slow to adjust to the things of the future. That's a bar. You feel what I mean? So it's just one of those things where if we can get out of our own way, we can be special, guys. And that's a big if, because Harbaugh's a prideful dude. He's one of those type of guys where he would rather lose his way than win another way with someone else being right. That's his mentality. So, you know. It is what it is.
So since you mentioned Harbaugh, would you rather take John or Jim?
Oh,
Jim. Give me Jim. Jimmy. Hey, yo. So listen, I would take his brother any day of the week. I would take Jim any day. You see how he's close to all of his quarterbacks too?
mm-hmm.
Because he used to play quarterback.
Even Kaepernick, he's still cool with him too. Yeah.
See? Imagine what he would look like with Lamar. We have a nuclear weapon, and we're still trying to use it like it's a slingshot. You know how hard it is to watch that? Like, we have a player that you, by all intents and purposes, you should not be able to even slow him down based on the defensive coverages that teams are able to play against him successfully. And they still somehow find ways to beat us at times. Think about it. If I told you, and I'll give you the perfect example of this. You remember when Tyreek was on Kansas City, right?
Yes.
And they would say, okay, all we literally can do is play too high. If we don't have a pass rush and y'all not getting to it, we are not going to win this game. Matter of fact, we don't even stand a chance in this game. We have to play too high because of who? Not because of Patrick, not because of Kelsey, because of Tyreek Hill. We have that at quarterback. Mm-hmm. And you're telling me we're not making the best of it? The most of it?
Nope.
Come on now, man. I know I'm not speaking crazy. Like, it's frustrating. It really is. But listen, I do think that Harbaugh's on the hot seat. I think those buns are getting toasty. Pause. So I'm dead serious with you, because they're gonna start. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna start saying, like, "What else do you need, bro?
I'm not even.
What else do you need?"
I want him fired. Honestly,
Unc has been calling for him to be fired for years.
If he wins, he will never be fired. I just want to let you know this now.
I know.
If you want the Ravens to win this year, if they win this year, Harbaugh will retire a Raven. I just want to let you understand it. That's the context behind everything that we say.
Yeah.
So,
and the crazy part about all of that is like if we do let him go, the next team will pick him up in less than 24 hours probably. He'll have a job right then and there.
Harbaugh's
he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Yes, he's not a bad context. He's not a terrible coach, but we need a coach that can raise our ceiling, not our floor. That's what Harbaugh does. Harbaugh comes in almost with a college mindset, and he raises the floor of your team. That's what I believe. Because guys want to play for him. They're like, oh, he's really a player's coach. He understands and stuff like that. So guys are willing to play and put out for him. So he raises the floor of the team. Problem is, he lacks the creativity to raise the ceiling. So even though your floor is high, your ceiling stays the same. You're kind of getting crunched under there. You know what I'm saying? When you walk around the house like this, you need a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to grow. So that's his deficiency. And every coach has his deficiency, but that's his. And we already seen it happen in Philly. So for all the people that, Harbaugh won one here, and if he leaves, we'll never win another one, and someone pick him up in 24 hours. What happened in Philly? Didn't Philly get rid of Andy Reid?
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, what happened when they got rid of Andy Reid?
He went to the Super Bowl.
Twice. They went to the Super Bowl twice. They both doing fine. Andy Reid went over there and tweet. He flourished. He was flapping them wings, boy. He got Patrick Mahomes. He's like, bro, I got 3 of them things, right? Philly finally got theirs. So it could be a win-win. You know what I'm saying? But once again, if we win this year, we're stuck with him, bro. He ain't going nowhere. So it is kind of what it is. I'd rather us win this year and we'll be stuck with him than us to lose. Oh, my God. To lose heartbreakingly again.
Another terrible summer of Lamar getting ridiculed for goofiness.
Yeah, so I'd rather us just win and we'll keep him.
Well, Nitro, I want to ask you about the defense, because Zach Orr is the new DC. And, if you want to theory craft and throw your reel out there, he could be possibly Harbaugh's replacement one day. He's a young guy, played for the Ravens, players coach. A lot of guys seem to like him. What do you think about this defense? A lot of pieces on defense, but I think the biggest question is the pass rush. What do you think happens with this defense? Because I think they may have to carry the offense for the first couple of weeks.
I'm going to make a proclamation on the flex because, you can't come on the zone and not flex. You feel me? I'm going to make a proclamation. The defense will be better this year than it was last year.
Wow.
For two reasons. And here it goes. And I mean, not just, I'm talking, they will beat last year on turnovers. The only thing I won't see them having more in is sacks, but they'll have more interceptions, turnovers, forced fumbles, all those things. And I believe they'll have the same, if not less, of holding of the opponent's offense to points. And the reason why is because Marcus Williams is going to be healthy. Fully healthy. And he's going to be able to play alongside during the preseason, during OTAs and all this stuff with a Kyle Hamilton. If you looked at last year, that's when Geno started to flourish, right? Because Williams was out. People forget Williams is stupid nice. Like Geno was a poor man's Marcus Williams. People forget that. Geno couldn't tackle. You know what I'm saying? It was just that he was playing next to Kyle. They understood their assignments, and he made sure that he made the most of his opportunities. And Marcus only had one arm. Now imagine a Marcus Williams with two arms. How many balls last year, pause, did he have thrown close to his face, pause, you know what I'm saying, that he dropped? I'm like, I'm just being real.
Finish him, Daddy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? How many times did the ball come like right here and he dropped it? Because he only had one arm. His other arm couldn't go past like right here. I could count at least 5 times. At least 5. That's 5 interceptions right there. Another reason too is I think, even though it pains me to say this, I have a feeling Oweh's going to have his breakout year this year. It's just like how last year you had Matabike have his. I think this is going to be the Oweh year. I think it's going to be the year Oweh gets about 12 sacks. 12 to about 15 sacks, give or take.
And if he gets 12 sacks, I'll fly to Florida and buy you whatever you want. Nice. If he gets 12 sacks.
I'm saying this on the flex. I'm not going to come on here and play games. This is business right here. You feel me? I'm giving it work. I'm telling y'all, the defense is going to be better than it was last year. And Oweh, book it, 12 to 15 sacks. 12 to 15 sacks for the upcoming season, barring injury.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We're going to clip this, by the way, so we'll make sure we put this.
Yes, we know.
So when we write, we did this as a team. So when they write, they who did that? The flex did that. That's how we got to say that. You feel me? So when they be like, yo, who came up with that? How did they know? The flex knew. Yeah, just like that.
Devontae, you want to get on?
Man, listen, man. All right, in free agency, anybody you look, well, I know the guys on the panel make jokes that, they got Burger King coupons in the Ravens on the Ravens salary cap. Oh, is there somebody you want in free agency that could make life a little bit easier going into the season?
David Bakhtiari. You think I came on here waiting to play games? I can't lock the Lord.
There it is.
Like, I'm not playing games. David Bakhtiari. Straight up. Listen, our O-line has been horrendous. I laugh about a lot of things because I call things and it kind of, rubs people the wrong way because they'll fall in love with certain players and stuff like that. But I call it the way I see it. And I'm looking at this O-line and I'm just like, You ever get, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at them. That whole right side, I'm like, bro, like, what are we doing? And on top of it, Makari's supposed to be our backup in case anybody gets hurt. He's supposed to be the plug and play guy in case anybody gets hurt. And doesn't someone always get hurt on our offensive line every single year?
Every
so if
every
he's
week.
starting, who's backing up who? Like, yo, Make it real with you. Who's backing up who? So Bakhtiari, even if he's not what he used to be for the left tackle, he might still be good enough to put him at right tackle. Opens up some, put guys, shuffle the line a little bit. Yeah, we know Tyler Linderbaum gonna be good. We're praying that Ronnie Stanley can stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, they just need to be able to fit in and do their jobs. If they could just, they don't even got to be the best, but if they could just be consistent, we'll be good. Because once again, you can't pass rush. Once again, everything I say is with context. You can't pass rush normally with Lamar.
No.
Right or wrong?
Right. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? That so the old line gets once again a force multiplier. That's how you multiply. So you can't even pass rush him normally. And now your pass rush definitely can't run past because now if they do, it could be him handing it off to Henry. And what happens when Henry starts and starts running? That's how he runs. I heard he breathes really hard every time he takes a step. Like the trunch. Yo, y'all remember Matilda, the trunch bull? Remember when she jumped over, she said, Carly ho! And she dropped down on the floor? That's him. When everything was shaking, everyone's like, yo, remember Matilda was in the kitchen like, help me. That's how he runs. So how are you going to do anything to stop him? That's what I'm saying. So the O-line doesn't even have to be perfect. They just have to be serviceable. Bring David Bakhtiari over here, bro. Please.
Miss Principal.
Yo, you're
y'all
wild,
remember,
man.
come on now. I can't be that old. Y'all remember the Listen, people forget, bro. When they think about like evil people, they think about like Thanos and you know what I'm saying, those stuff. No, we were growing up, you had the Trunchbull. Homegirl was throwing little girls over the fence by their pigtails.
Yeah,
Girl, you forget the movie, she lifted up her car, bro. Those are when the cars are all steel, bro. Steel meal, the long body ones. She was and she turned it all the way, bro. That was a monster of a woman, bro. So like, and that's how, and when I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, that's Derrick Henry. So that's who we got. And that's I'm gonna start calling him. Y'all gave me the perfect idea. Not even Derrick. I'm giving AKAs for everybody. Y'all even call him. I call him Lamar. I don't call him Lamar. I call him Himar because he's him, right? And Derrick Henry call him the Trunch. Bro. He's the Trunch. Yeah, bro. Y'all know what that means for real. Yo.
Why do you think the narrative is out there that Joe Burrow is the one that's going to get over to stop Patrick Mahomes from three-peating as opposed to Lamar Jackson, who is probably right now the number 2 quarterback in the NFL right behind Patrick Mahomes?
Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, contextually speaking. Not taking it away from the young man. With that being said, what is he versus Lamar?
4-1.
Oh, so he loses a lot. What is he versus the Ravens overall? Isn't it like 2-8?
Probably similar.
Joe Burrow. What the Ravens are 8-2 against the Bengals.
Yeah.
And what is he versus the Browns?
He hasn't even played that much. I don't even know.
No. I think he's
too.
He's
That's what I'm trying to say. He might not even make it out of the AFC North. Like,
that's
bro, listen.
Problem. That's the problem.
You see what I'm trying to say? So when people say that stuff, they never use, I love that word context because no one ever speaks in it because they're always trying to make their point without context, right? Joe Burrow's a good player, but can he even make it out of the AFC North if there's not injuries? The years where he went, all teams are injury riddled throughout the entire AFC North. That's Pittsburgh, that's the Browns, and that's the Ravens. There was a year where we had UPS drivers as corners. I literally I got to I'll put it on my phone. I had an email. It was like, hello, this is the Baltimore Ravens. Would you like to play corner for us? I was like, I'm 300 pounds. like, yo, how y'all laughing? I'm being serious. I got it in there. I'm telling you, bro, they was calling everybody. So I'm like, bro, So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could play linebacker, you know what I'm saying? I can put some work in at linebacker, you know what I'm saying? I'm a beast, you know what I'm saying? But corner, no. So that's what we had: UPS drivers, Walmart workers, DoorDash. You know what I'm saying? And that's who Joe Burrow has succeeded against. And did he even have the best record in the league that year? No. 10 games. That's what he won. The next year, what he won? 12? Come on now, bro. We've 12 wins with Lamar. That's easy work. How many times have we had 14 games, 13, 12, 11? Like, he lives in that area. Most of the time, he's sitting the last game of the season.
Yeah, with sunglasses.
With shades, yeah.
So it's like, listen, the Bengals are a good team, but once again, if we're just speaking with context, they don't do well against the Browns or the Ravens. The only team they beat up on in the AFC North is the Steelers, which seem to be our one kryptonite. Because they beat us what? What was it? 1-7 our last bouts versus them. That's what we are versus them or something like that. 1-7.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only team. Every other team we massacre. As long as we're healthy, we're good. So if we're healthy, I don't think Joe Burrow even makes it out of the AFC North. Can he win enough games? Do you think he's going to win more games than the Browns this year? Do you think he's going to win more games than the Ravens this year?
No.
In a tightly packed AFC where every win is going to count? He might not make the playoffs a second time. I'd love to see the narrative then.
The narrative is so weird out there because, you got Joe Burrow out there who's beating Patrick Mahomes, but then Joe Burrow has a losing record against Lamar, but then they want to propel Josh Allen out there who can't get past
Patrick that,
Mahomes.
man. I hate the Josh Allen thing, man. I like Josh Allen, but I hate the narrative that he's that. And
that's the narrative that's been out there though.
Don't worry, he's gonna see what Lamar went through all those years this year with no receivers. He's gonna see.
He's not that, man.
And what's crazy is they are saying that Josh Allen is very likely to win MVP.
Oh, he's gonna win wait. They thought he was gonna win MVP last year. That's why they put him on the cover of Madden.
Mm-hmm. But
y'all didn't peep that?
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm saying. You didn't peep that? Like, oh yes, he's our safety. He's gonna win.
If it wasn't for the Dolphins folding, they wouldn't even been in the playoffs. So.
The Dolphins are literally their animal. They're literally like Dolphins don't do well in cold water. Anywhere there's cold, Dolphins be like, nah, I gotta go to Florida, Hawaii. They're literally their animal. If there's any cold, they can't play.
And that's why I say the Dolphins have a ceiling. Tua and the Dolphins have a ceiling. And it's a clear one. Clear ceiling. Everybody in the AFC is in the cold.
And the crazy thing is, they're not even smart enough to have a dome. Like with the Saints, at least they knew that, right? The Saints like, yo, we a track team, bro. We need this covered, right? We need turf, right? Everything got to be right. Them, they're like, nah, we can do it. We can do it. We have Tyreek. We can do it. Our coach is amazing. We can do it. It's like, bro, once y'all catch that sniff of cold, all y'all need Robitussin.
Well, or they could just win the 1 seed and they had a chance.
That's their only bet. That's their only chance.
But they folded though.
They're going to win more games. Here's the thing, because that's possible. But guess what happens? The weather happens. Florida's getting rainy. Doesn't that slow down those runners? It does, doesn't it? It does. Yes, it does. What happens when it gets close to Christmas? It gets cold. It slows down the runners, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. What happens when it gets to January? The winds start kicking up, right? Yeah, tornadoes and stuff like that. That happens too, right? Exactly. Wind flurries. So they're not going to do well. As long as it's outside and once it starts getting the bad, that's why a lot of these teams, that's why Pittsburgh keeps doing well. Because they'll start slow because everyone's playing good because the weather's nice and everything's perfect. But when it starts getting dirty, mucky, that's when Pittsburgh goes, oh, baby, we home now. Yes. They start throwing mud in your face, poking you in your eyes, all type of foolishness. And then they pull out wins. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Are the Dolphins going to do that? No.
and they got a $53 million guy. Good job, guys.
Bro, he's a finesse. Even that, he's a finesse quarterback.
Yeah.
Like you have certain guys that are like Josh Allen, he's a Terminator, like, oh yes, I want to do this. Like he's a Terminator, he's bigger, stronger, stuff like that. Lamar could do it because he has a whip of an arm. So if he goes like this, it puts so much velocity on the ball, it can cut through. That's why they say he throws missiles. Like he's a dart thrower. Yeah. So he can do it. Not Tua. Tua's a
not risk.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even making fun of the brother because it's a beautiful, because he throws beautiful balls. You know what I'm saying? The balls, pause. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Egregious.
I'm not gonna rob something. Y'all know me. I'm dangerous.
And they're accurate. But once the wind starts to kick, what happens to his accuracy? When the cold starts to hit, what happens to his hands? You see what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So that's his biggest problem. And Tua's a good quarterback. That was the problem a lot of quarterbacks have had. They don't do well in weather. That's why you have teams that have put domes over their city. Matter of fact, I can even make the argument that Josh Allen doesn't even play great in the cold. Look what happened when he went against Bengals. The Bengals played better in the cold than the Bills.
Yep. And they try to make Josh Allen the number 2 guy.
Hey, yo. I ain't gonna lie, Joe Burrow made that man quit. He was on the sideline like, I just want to go home to my girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I ain't going front. So, listen, all these guys are great. I'm just looking at it contextually. If we're, especially speaking in the regular season, Lamar, the Ravens usually do good in the regular season. Our problem is that when the level of once everything starts to focus in on in the playoffs and stuff like that, our guys don't rise to the occasion. That's been and coaching suffer. And then you see the big coaching difference in the playoff. That's been our Achilles heel. In the Titans game, Lamar was pressured more than Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Remember that Super Bowl that Patrick Mahomes gets a pass because his O-line kept getting. Yeah. Do you know that? Most people don't even know that stat. Go look it up. Lamar was pressured more than Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. And he still put up about 500 yards.
Yeah, but the narrative now is because he's 2-4.
Because each loss needs context. Even the one versus the Bills, that was a bad weather game. Nobody could throw the ball. It was wind flurries all throughout the stadium. People forget that Josh only had like 120 passing yards that game too.
But now they're putting that narrative about Dak Prescott or Lamar Jackson who can get over the hump. So.
You know why? Because we're talking about it. Once again, it's engagement farming. They know that Lamar. That's why I said I put out a tweet a while ago, and it was, I don't know if you know Greek mythology, Atlas who holds up the world. Yes, and I put Lamar as Atlas, and I put the world as the media because that's literally what happens. If there's it's a slow day, make a Lamar topic. If we want to go above our stuff, make a Lamar topic, and make sure one of us are saying foolishness about him. And guess what? It goes viral every single time. It's the most guaranteed topic in media.
Yeah, because Stephen A. does it. Shannon Sharp does it.
Yeah.
First things first. Speak.
Emmanuel Acho does it.
That's what I said. Speak. They do it. First things first with Nick Wright and my boy Chris Broussard. They all do it.
Oh, hey, yo. Matter of fact, let me bring this home, bro. Okay. Let me tell you why they bother me, bro. Now that you brought up speaking them, right? Don't you see how they be acting like, the Ravens aren't going to make the playoffs? Didn't they say that last year?
Yes.
Then they say, they have so many holes on the team. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. And this is a new offense and everything. And then once they start winning, they got the best team in the entire NFL. John Harbaugh's the greatest coach we've ever seen. Only Bill Belichick is better than him. That's what they do every single year. And I'd be like, bro, y'all really pivot like that? Like, y'all start the season off saying the Baltimore Ravens will not make the playoffs. Y'all pick saying that Lamar will have a down year. Man gets an MVP, has the best record in the NFL, and they got they're the best team, bro. They're the best team. It's like, where are all the deficiencies that you called out before? They're playing above those deficiencies. You understand where I'm coming from? They're playing above it. They're figuring out ways to try to cover them up. But when you get to the playoffs, those guys, they have to still play at that level. That's what I kept trying to say with the O-line. Our O-line has never been really, truly good since 2018. 2019 was the last time we had a really good O-line. All the years after that, we've been horrible. It's the only reason they've been serviceable is because you can't pass rush Lamar like how you do regular quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And then even if they get to him, he goes,
magic.
Yeah. Man, being dip, dive, duck, and dodge. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it makes them look better than what they are. So what you're looking at is a team that doesn't have an elite O-line and don't have elite weapons. You just have an elite quarterback. And you're saying, and you might have an elite defense. So you're saying, okay, that should be enough. But it's like all of these other quarterbacks, his contemporaries, have way more. And the league knows. Because how many times when Debo was up, AJ Brown was up, Warren,
Stephon Diggs,
Path, how they said, do not let the Ravens get any of those guys. Please. Everybody said the same because they know it's like they're going to break the league. It's one. Can you guard AJ Brown 1-on-1 all game? Think about what we're being asked of what's being asked of our wide receivers. Think about it. They're 1-on-1 most of the game. Be able to guard Devontae Adams 1-on-1 all game?
Man, that would be sick if we had Devontae Adams.
Tyreek. Why do you think I sang so hard for Tyreek? Y'all don't remember when I did it on Twitter? I sang. I said, EDC, please.
Hey.
Please. Do this one thing. You think I'm joking? Y'all can go look at him if you think I'm joking. I'm dead serious with you, bro. I was singing and everything. Because I was like, Tyreek and Lamar? Oh my God. But once again, our wide receivers, they don't have to do as much as some of these other guys because of who's playing quarterback. Because they know that even if they take their eyes off him for a second, he can hit his head on the goalpost. So that's my thing. Imagine us having a guy on the outside that you can't play one-on-one with a Lamar, with a Derrick Henry.
And we're praying that Zay Flowers.
Yeah. And we're praying that Zay Flowers.
And
see what I mean?
You brought up Lamar, and I said on the podcast before the season even started, I said he's going to win MVP. I just wonder how much I could have got off of that.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, man.
I legit really wonder now,
especially at the height before the 49ers and the Ravens played. If you'd have put Lamar, put all your chips in Lamar, you'd have got a stupid payout because they was on what was that? Brock Purdy. They was on Brock Purdy hard.
Yeah, they were.
Before they played the Ravens, before the Ravens and 49ers played, they was on Brock Purdy hard.
I'm not even going to toot my own horn, bro. But the people that from the Wonderkin show would be able to attest to this. I called the entire AFC North. I called the Bengals missing the playoffs. I called the Ravens making it to at least the AFC Championship game. I called Lamar becoming MVP. I called Tank Dell being Tank Dell. With a lot of people. Remember, I was like, yo, give us Tank Dell, please. I was like, yeah, he's too skinny. I'm like, you can't touch him. Do you not understand? Like, bro, like he's skinny, but you can't touch what you can't hit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can't touch him. And they was like, no, we don't want him. I'm like, bro. And then when everyone's like, oh, Tank, go back and look up those stuff. I called all of that stuff. All of it before the season ever started. That's why Bengal fans was like, this guy Nitro. I'm like, yeah. That's why I was doing that.
Is that why they was trolling you?
Yes, because I called them like, oh, we're going to make it into a dialogue. I was like, yeah, no, you're not. I called the order of the AFC North.
Wow.
You could look at that's on Twitter too. I called it before everything fell out. The only thing I was wrong on is us winning the Super Bowl. I said we'd make it to at least the AFC championship game, but I think eventually we'll win the Super Bowl next year. It's the only thing I was wrong on. Everything else I called.
So let's get you on record before we get you out of here. How does the AFC North stack up? And who plays in the Super Bowl in New Orleans where the Ravens won in 2012? I'm sure you remember that.
Philly Ravens. That's number one.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. I actually posted that a couple days ago. It's a preview when they were hugging on the you know what I'm saying, giving daps on the field.
Mhm.
That's the Super Bowl preview right there. That's what's going to be in New Orleans, right? AFC North. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at me. I know they are. But I have it being number 1 seed, Baltimore, number 2 seed, the Browns, number 3 seed.
Really, the Browns? Number 2.
Yeah, the Browns are going to be the number 2 seed in the AFC North. The AFC North.
Okay, AFC North. Okay.
AFC North. I didn't say the full AFC. Like that. And number 3, I'm actually going to pick the same thing I picked last year. I think Pittsburgh will be number 3, and I think the Bengals will miss the playoffs again, and they'll be the 4th seed in the AFC North. I think that Baltimore will be tied for the best record with the Chargers, and I think, and I think
Are you loving that Jim Harbaugh?
I think, Jim Harbaugh just hits. And I have the Chiefs getting knocked out in the divisional round.
Oh man.
Oh, really? You don't even.
They don't even make it to the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
They're knocked out in the divisional.
I got one more question for you, Nitro.
Yes, sir.
When is Nitro coming back again, man? Nitro is
Listen, man, I gotta hit up Nitro. You know what I'm saying? He works at the record store, so you know, I just gotta hit him up when he's free and stuff like that. He be busy, but he loves coming on the show. So once I hit him up and I say, hey, the people really want you, he'll make time. So you'll probably see him. You'll definitely see him during the regular season and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we had this question from the comments right here about Lamar's ankle treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see it?
Yeah, I see it. How might Lamar Jackson's ankle treatment and confident mindset affect his 50-yard touchdown to Rashad Bateman and the subsequent interception by Demarion Williams? Lamar's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Lamar at all. Like, name another time in history where we're worried about a 2-time MVP. Were you ever worried about Peyton Manning, regardless when he was losing those playoff games? Were you like, oh my God, I'm worried about Peyton Manning? Were you ever saying that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm not worried about him. The only people I'm worried about the players around him. Can the O-line keep people from killing him? Can the receivers make the plays that need to be made? Can Rashad Bateman stay healthy?
Woo.
See what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can Harbaugh not Harbaugh it up?
Good
Can
question.
that brother win a challenge, please? When the last time we won a challenge? Yeah, go ahead. Think about that one. Yeah, think about that one. Every challenge he do, lose.
And because he be challenging the most stupidest stuff, and you'd be like,
Most
why you challenge
egregious
this?
stuff. Like,
You'd be
think
like,
about
why
even
you
last
challenge
year.
this?
How much times we were like, bro, challenge that. And he's like, and then he'll challenge something like, oh, that ball's supposed to be put. Oh yeah, we got that. And it's 3 yards behind the line. Yeah, we're gonna challenge that. And he'll say, oh, you know, we challenged it just to see if we can get it, you know what I'm saying, if they would actually. It's like, what? You don't remember the game when he did that? And he came after and tried to make excuses for it?
Just like he did at the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
Craziness. That was legit crazy.
Yeah, so listen, if Harbaugh can just be a good coach, O-line could block, receivers can stay healthy, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Nitro, what do you got cooking up on the channel with the season pretty much underway, heading into the regular season soon? And anything else you want the people to know about you and how they can keep up with your channel?
Once again, you can catch me on YouTube every day, 2 episodes a day at the Wonderkin Show. You can catch me on Twitter too, Nitro_Quantum. And I be on there on TikTok a little bit, doing my little TikTok-y things, you know what I'm saying? But no, you can catch me on there too. But definitely always just trying to give you as much content as possible, quality content. It's not about quantity, but I try to get this best quality. And yeah, I think I got a couple. I'm trying to line up a couple interviews, so we'll see if those work out.
Nitro, brother, we can't thank you enough, brother. We appreciate it, and we hope we can do this again real soon, my brother.
Most definitely. Thank you so much for having me, guys. All blessings. Thank y'all, man. Very humble, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We're going to clip this interview, and we're going to send it to you tomorrow. We'll put it out so people can watch your whole interview in its entirety. Keep up with what you got going. And as always, we are going to be supporting the One That Can Show here on the Flex Zone. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, he said it himself. He will return, as he will be slapping a lot of people, I'm sure, throughout the season. The one and only Nitro. The one and only Mr. Finishing.
Yes,
Daddy.
sir.
We appreciate you, Nitro. Thank you again, man. Much love to you. Much love to all the fam down in Florida. And we'll be talking to you real soon, brother.
Nah, thank y'all, brothers. Thank you. Salute to the Flex.
Thank you, bro.
You feel me? Much love,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Much love.
Appreciate you, Nitro. Big ups once again to Nitro joining us on the Flex Zone. Big shout out to the good brother. Back. He's still flexing. He's still flexing backstage. Doing this thing here on the Flex Zone.
Byron, you should pull up that Joe Hendry, man, because that's just that's every time he did that's what always came to mind.
It's crazy because yesterday we was like, he was like, did you send him the link? I was like, yeah, I just emailed it to him, and then he just popped up right after.
Right. Popped up smiling.
Right you, man. Yeah.
Big 90s sitcom energy. A theme song.
Man, he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
There he is.
Amen.
Big shout out to Nitro.